Hello, this is Monique McDonald. And if you're looking for more one-on-one help with your voice and how to make it magnetic, I want to invite you to check out my coaching packages at themagneticvoice.com. Then click Transform with Monique and book a complimentary connection call. Let's see if we can find a package for you that will fit all of your needs. I'm so grateful for your listening to the Magnetic Voice podcast, and I can't wait to meet you and continue the conversation. Take care. See you soon.
Welcome to The Magnetic Voice, here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel, a show where speakers and singers learn how to be more magnetic and align their voices to the divine within. Today, episode 80, New Year, Now What? And now your host, Monique McDonald.
Hello, and welcome to the Magnetic Voice podcast. My name is Monique McDonald, and I'm here with the lovely Shannon Kropf. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Monique. Great to see you. How's your year going so far?
So far, so good.
Awesome.
It didn't start so beautifully, but...
Oh, no? Anything you want to share with us?
Well, I was very sick. I had a terrible chest cold that activated my asthma.
Ugh.
And so I spent the holidays alone in bed.
Oh.
But I'm feeling much better today. And I always feel when I get that sick, it's a way of my body to purge itself of something. I always feel like it's something that's coming up that's ready to leave for good.
Forever.
Forever. So that's how I'm looking at it, and good riddance. That was
Amen.
yucky.
Bye.
And I still have a cough, but I'm feeling much, much better today.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, so today I thought it would be interesting to talk about Happy New Year.
Woo!
Now what?
Oh.
Woo!
Oh.
Yeah, it's this really fun idea that it's a brand new baby year. And then I'm just looking around me in my world and noticing everybody's kind of scrambling for, I know I'm supposed to be different. I know I'm supposed to do something different, right? Because it's a new year.
Right.
So, what am I supposed to do?
I have known that feeling before. Happened not to be in it this year, which is good.
That's great.
But I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, what I've noticed, I got to go to for the first time ever, I started my year in retreat.
Oh, nice.
Which I just got back into town, and it was so beautiful to sort of come away from business and life,
sure. Yeah,
and really formally take a look at all of the wins from last year. All of the things that I never want to see again from last year. and to really look forward and understand that it is a new year, but we can do this any day.
Right.
Is to remind ourselves that we get to decide. We are creators,
created in the likeness of the great creator.
Yeah.
And so we are always creating ourselves and recreating ourselves. And to really get into the mindset of, what do I want to create for myself this year?
Right.
And to look at it very practically, all the things on the calendar that you want to get done. And
Oh, sure.
do I want to take a vacation this year? And, for my business, what are some events that I want to be a part of and create for my business? But also, who do I want to become this year? What thoughts do I want to think?
The good ones, right?
It's I know, right? What thoughts do I want to think? It's a strange thing to think about.
I get it. Yeah.
But it's a time to really get clear about that. And, I, like most people, have written out my goals for the year and what I want to create in my life. And, but as I'm sitting here looking at them today, I realize that these goals that I've written for myself don't mean anything if I'm not thinking in a different way.
Absolutely.
If I'm not recreating myself so that I am expanded enough within myself to receive them.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely. Well, and it's that, what we think creates our reality. So the shortest way I can put it is, we're fooling ourselves if we think we're going to achieve all these great things and we're thinking in a different way. Like, I'm going to write down, I want to make $50,000 in my side gig this year, but I'm thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Or I'm not really good enough to do this. It's completely contrary, right?
Right. It absolutely is. And I had to sort of face up to something that I wasn't so excited to admit to myself. But whenever I have the courage to do that, things always start to shift and move in my life.
Sure. Yeah.
And one of the things that I realized is that last year, for whatever reason, and I don't even know if it matters why, I was pretty much hedging my bets.
Interesting.
I was doing all the things that we do, but I was sort of making sure to be safe.
Right.
Making sure that I had, enough finances to be sure. to be able to survive.
Right.
But not really taking any risks or doing anything different in order to thrive.
Right.
Right?
Right.
There's this idea of safety and living in order to be sure. Living in order to be sure. And not really fully committing 100%.
Right.
Because I was sort of waiting to see what would happen, to see if it was, should I throw myself into this new program or this new idea or this new way of being? Let me wait and see how things fall before I really commit myself.
Now, traditionally, people call that wisdom.
Right?
So, just saying. Don't jump off the deep end or count your chickens before they hatch or all that business,
It is, you are so right. And that is traditionally how we've been taught to live our lives. Don't think too big because you'll be
Right.
disappointed. Don't aim too high because what if you lose?
Right.
Don't, whatever you do, when you're on a first date, don't really show them who you are.
Right. Order a salad when you want a steak, right?
Exactly, right? Be on your best behavior so
Right.
that the person will like you.
Right.
When in reality, you're you.
Right.
And we want to show people who we really are, because if they like the version of us that we're expressing because we think, that's better, or we want to be on our best behavior, that's a way of hedging our bets. That's
Right.
a way of, right? That's a way of not fully committing to that moment.
Right.
And I just sort of noticed, and I mean, honestly, that was not fun to realize. And what I know about this journey of self-discovery and self-development in order to be more authentic. So whenever I speak, I am my most magnetic voice, right? I am my most authentic self. When I notice things like that, because I think I should know better, I'm very quick to beat myself up. I don't know if anybody
Oh,
else feels that way,
yeah.
which
Yeah, of
just
course.
compounds the problem, right?
Right. Right. Let me make
And
this better by beating myself. It makes no sense, but we all do it.
exactly. And what I noticed when I noticed I was beating myself up for having this revelation about this need for safety, this need to, really look and see what was happening before I fully committed myself, I realized that here we are in a new year, and I'm done with this old pattern, this old way of being. It's okay to just notice something about myself that I'm not happy with and may want to change, and not beat myself up for it because I think I should know better.
Revolutionary.
Right?
Because now you can take all the energy that you were spending and I was spending and everybody was spending going, oh, I should know better, and point all that energy back into addressing what it is that you'd like to see be different.
Exactly. Because I was reading one of my favorite books, the 40-Day Mind Fast Soul Feast by Michael Beckwith. And he talks about thought is energy. The quality of your thoughts is reflected through your emotions, speech, and behavior. The thoughts that pass through your awareness translate themselves into your experience. That which you think reality to be is your experience. So just as you said, what I thought about what I noticed took up way more space than what I actually noticed. So by the time I got back around to it, there was no energy left
Right.
to change the behavior.
Right. Which then just propagates the cycle again, because now you haven't changed the behavior and, oh, I'm so terrible. And it's vicious cycle.
It is. And so one of the things that I am working on this year that I wanted to share with you, Shannon, and with all of my beautiful listeners is it's time to stop beating ourselves up for whatever we notice that isn't quote unquote right about ourselves.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because it's a new baby year. It's time to accept and love ourselves, no matter what. And one of the things that I was able to do through this process of noticing what I was thinking about what I was noticing.
Right.
is I now can just release all of that and just, recognize it as an indicator that I'm afraid to face the failure.
Right.
So my mind takes me on these lovely little merry-go-rounds so that I don't have to face myself and my failure. And failure is such an interesting word. I failed. The reason why we resist playing full out, going in 100%, not knowing what the outcome is going to be, is because we're terrified we're going to fail. We're terrified we're going to let ourselves down and let the people around us down. We're terrified we're going to fail. And for a lot of us, what that means is, if you really think about it, if I fail, I cease to exist. I am a failure. It becomes our identity. And rather than take a risk to find out what we're truly made of, to play full out, to play to win without being attached to the winning.
Ooh, that's so hard.
Yes. And why is it hard? Because we define ourselves as a loser if we don't win. We define ourselves as a failure. But what I'm understanding this year, what I really want to know for myself, and I want to share with everyone within the sound of my voice, is that we're flatlining. We are living in that flat line that happens when we die. If we're not taking risks, if we're not playing to win, if we're not playing the game with all of our heart and soul, no matter what. Because when we take action and we don't know what the outcome is going to be, and we take it with all of our minds, all of our hearts, all of our souls, trusting that if we've been given a divine idea and we speak it into being, that there's going to be a result. And here's the trick: not defining ourselves by the result. Because as I looked back at my life, the times where I grew the most, the times where I experienced life on the deepest of levels, are the times where I took a risk and stepped outside of my comfort zone, not knowing what the outcome would be. And the times where I played it safe, and the times where I kept myself in my little box where I know exactly what's going to happen next, that's not life. That's not living. Even though that's what we've been taught. But then we think about, why were we taught to live life that way? Some would say it's to keep us as followers rather than leaders. Because whenever we look at the great leaders, right or wrong, good or bad, they stepped outside of themselves. They stepped outside of what was common and took uncommon action. They led from their own individual ideas. And one of the things that I because that's terrifying, right? I'm not going to lie. That's terrifying.
Yes.
Because the other part of being a leader is that you're out in front of people leading.
Right.
And if you lead a bunch of people and it's wrong, right? That's terrifying.
It's heavy. Yeah. There's
It's heavy.
ramifications for more than just yourself.
Exactly. And there are great strides and possibility of greater freedoms and greater understanding than we know right now. So here's what I know.
Sum it up for us.
As long as I stay in contact with the divine within me and trust that I'm being led as I lead, all will be well. I'll make mistakes.
Sure.
And I'll learn. I may not get the results that I think I'm supposed to get, but I will have taken action and had a result, which will then give me a point of reference for how to adjust.
Right.
My goal for this year is to spend more time in prayer, which brings me in closer contact brings me to closer contact with divine mind. And more time in meditation, that stillness, which expands me so that I can fill my cup with more divine. So that when I speak and when I move, I am being spoken and I am being moved by the divine. And I'm going to need your help with this. Will you help me with this? All of you, help me with this. Help me with this by practicing it with me, because we're oh so much better together.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Monique.
All right. here we are, a brand new baby year. Now what? Instead of going to our mind and trying to figure it out, we've probably already done that. Let's go to our heart. So I invite you to bring your conscious attention to your heart. This beautiful heart that pumps blood to our whole entire body, that takes the brunt of our failures, our losses, our rejections, our fears. And as you breathe into your heart, fill it with your love. And in your mind's eye, hold it in your arms, embrace it. Today, as we hold our heart in our embrace and look forward to the year unfolding before us, we take our heart in our hands and stop hedging our bets. Stop playing it safe. Trusting the resilience of this amazing heart of ours, and jump into life with both feet, leaving it all on the field, playing to win, taking what life gives us and jumping in, knowing that our heart is the seed of our courage, that our heart of hearts has all the love, all the divine guidance, all the life experience in it to guide us through, to open us up to taking that leap into life, knowing that we carry our safety with us wherever we go. There is nothing that is not safe. Even if we make mistakes, even if we fail, quote unquote fail, even if when we jump into something not knowing the outcome is not what we expected or even hurts or causes pain, with our heart in our embrace, we know that that is only temporary. This too shall pass, and we keep jumping. We keep loving. We keep saying yes to life, even if we can't see where it will lead. Because we know in our heart of hearts that when we play to win, odds are we will. whatever that means. It may mean a new opportunity to become more of yourself. It may mean a new opportunity to be an example of love in motion. It may mean a new chance to tell someone how much you love them. And as we take these leaps, as we take these moments and jump in with both feet, willing to fall, we know that whatever happens, life is unfolding perfectly, and we are truly grateful. And so it is.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Magnetic Voice here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. This channel is made possible because of listeners just like you. If you would like to support the channel with your tax-deductible contribution on an ongoing basis or through a one-time gift, head over to experienceofthesoul.com/support. The Magnetic Voice is copyright 2024, Monique McDonald, all rights reserved. Our theme music is composed by Dave Kropf and used with permission. The Experience of the Soul podcast channel is a production of 818 Studios.
Hey friends, Sean here, your Experience of the Soul producer. I want to take a moment to tell you about something truly exciting. The SoulWorks online community, created by your host, Cynthia Alice Anderson, and available on the Mighty Networks app. If you're looking for a place where you can explore your spiritual path, connect with others, and grow in a meaningful way, then this is for you. SoulWorks is so much more than an online community. It's a safe, inclusive space for spiritual exploration, self-discovery, and personal transformation. Inside the community, you'll find everything from uplifting spiritual studies to soul-centered growth practices, meditations, affirmations, and so much more. It's a space where you'll always be supported and never judged. The best part, membership is free. You'll have access to powerful resources, inspiring content, and a supportive group of like-minded people who are all on their own unique spiritual journeys. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there are premium options available to enhance your experience with a live Monday night talk series and extended, deeper meditations. If you're seeking a place to connect, grow, and nurture your soul, we would love to have you join us in the SoulWorks community and see where this journey can take you. Visit my.soulworkscommunity.com today.